Welcome to our exchange tutorial. Thank you for taking the time to participate. We are excited to work with you and your group on the exchange this year. If you have any questions about the topics discussed in the tutorial, please don't hesitate to contact your Experiences Canada Program Coordinator. Throughout the exchange, your regular communications with your twin group organizer is key to planning a successful trip. As a first step for your exchange plans, please ensure that you're aware of any school board or organization policies regarding group travel or field trips, and to include any administrators who may be responsible for group travel in your exchange plans. If you have a school or organization code of conduct, or if you will create one for the exchange, it is your responsibility to ensure that all participants are aware of the code of conduct and any possible consequences to not following it. Also referring to Experiences Canada Form 16, the Participant Agreement Code of Conduct, which is available from your organizers and parents' web portals. Finally, you will see on your group organizer portal a series of guides and manuals that will help you get started, including our group organizer manual. Please be sure to use these online resources to prepare for your parents' meeting and host family screening. These steps will help inform parents and guardians and ensure a safe and successful exchange. Timelines and due dates. To ensure a safe and secure experience, both your group and your twins group will be required to always work at the same pace and within the same deadlines to allow us to book and prepare your travel for your preferred dates and for your group sizes. As you have seen in your confirmation of twinning email, there are 2 due dates. The first due date is 2 weeks after you've received the confirmation of twinning. During this time, please ensure that you submit your Form 2 request for group travel dates, available on your group organizer portal, as well as your registration fees of $100 per youth and chaperone participants. Experiences Canada cannot reserve travel arrangements before these items are submitted. You are also invited to watch this mandatory exchange process tutorial and to submit your Experiences Canada Program Coordinator your Certificate of Completion, Form 20. This handy tutorial will answer most of your questions, but if you are uncertain about something, please contact your program coordinator. The second due date is 6 weeks after you've received the confirmation of twinning. Within this time frame, your group will complete all required documentation for hosting and your online participant registration to be sent to our office by the end of the 6 weeks. These items are mandatory and essential steps to a safe and successful exchange. They will enable Experiences Canada to finalize the travel arrangements for your group and your twins group. Demographics. Participant recruitment is part of your responsibilities as the group organizer. Experiences Canada does require a ratio of 1 chaperone for every 10 youth participants, with a minimum of 2 chaperones for each group. Please be aware of any school or organization policies that may require you to include additional chaperones based on a different ratio. Our funding subsidizes travel for youth ages 12 to 17 who are Canadian citizens or who have permanent resident or refugee status. Chaperones 21 years of age and older are also eligible for funding following our ratio of 1 to 10. Some participants are not covered by our funding. This includes chaperones additional to our required ratio, youth and chaperones additional to the funding allocated in your group, participants who have participated in an Experiences Canada or CEVEC exchange in the past, and international students who may be members of your group during the short period of time that they are in Canada. If you are uncertain if one of your participants may not qualify for funding, please contact your program coordinator. If you haven't already done so, now is a great time to call your twin group organizer. Before moving on to the next steps of the exchange, it is important that both group organizers have decided on travel and hosting dates, the size of their group according to their allocated funding and any additional unsubsidized participants, and the demographics which will be considered when twinning youth between the groups. Please also be sure to discuss any of your own school or organization policies that your twin group organizer may need to consider when planning activities for their host week. Request for group travel dates. Once you've confirmed your dates and group size with your twin group organizer, Please submit your Form 2 request for group travel dates and your registration fees. Both groups are required to submit the same documents at the same pace. Please ensure to accurately indicate the number of subsidized participants who will be receiving funding through Experiences Canada, as well as any unsubsidized participants whose costs are covered by your group. This form will be used when reserving the flights and buses for both groups, so it is important that the dates match and that the numbers are accurate. This form and your registration fees of $100 per adult and youth participant are due 2 weeks after you have received your confirmation of twinning. Once your program coordinator has received these 2 items from both groups, we are ready to reserve your flights and buses.
The next 4 weeks in your exchange planning process will prepare your group to host their twins, and the first step is to register all participants online. Experiences Canada is pleased to provide you with a secure online registration access. Your organizer's portal is here to guide you through your exchange project. You can access your organizer login through our website at www.experiencescanada.ca. In the top right-hand corner of the page, there is a link for the portal called Organizer Login. Your organizer's account has been created for you and a separate email has been sent to you with your login information. Please check your inbox and your spam folder. Your group organizer portal is bilingual, and from here you have access to your project as well as resources, one of which is your group organizer manual and all forms needed to help you plan your exchange. On the top bar, click on Project to access all the information on your current exchange. Your organizer's portal keeps you up to date with deadlines to follow and also tasks to complete. It allows you to see the status of the participants' registrations, and you can also register youth and chaperones and edit demographics. In your confirmation of twinning email, you receive URL links to share with parents or guardian and also chaperones, allowing them access to register online. As the group organizer, register yourself using the chaperone link. The parents or guardian portal looks like this. Parents or guardians should print all forms in step 2 to be completed and submitted to you, the group organizer. In step 3, parents or guardian can review our host family guide for tips on hosting a twin student. They also have access to our volunteer letter for police record checks and vulnerable sector screening, which may be useful when they are requesting police verification as part of the screening process. Once the forms are printed, parents or guardian should register their youth's first and last name according to their official government-issued identification, date of birth, home address, and parents or guardian contact information. On this portal, parents and guardians will also read and accept the terms for our waiver of liability, assumption of risks and indemnity agreement, as well as the consent to the collection and use of personal information for youth participants. Asking parents and guardians to complete these steps online is a big help. Similarly, chaperone can use their chaperone URL link to log in and register themselves. The chaperone URL can be found in a twinning confirmation email that was sent to you. The chaperone portal is similar to the youth registration but without host forms. If chaperones are hosting any youth from the twin group, they will need to complete the required host application and references. Otherwise, this page is the only step needed. Chaperones can fill out their information. They will read and accept the waiver of liability, assumption of risks and indemnity agreement. Then, they will read and accept the consent to the collection and use of personal information for group organizers and chaperones. Then they will accept or decline the final statement. Throughout these steps, you can log into your group organizers portal to see the status of the participants' registration. While reviewing your participants list, please ensure that all participants are registered by their first and last name according to their official government-issued identification that they will be traveling with. We will use this information to purchase tickets for your group. You can review the list to ensure all members of your groups have been registered. In the event that a parent or guardian is unable to register their youth for any reason, you may add a participant from your organizer's portal. If you register a youth or chaperone other than yourself, you will need to submit by email or fax to Experiences Canada the PDF waiver and consent form for these participants. These are Forms 5 and 6 for youth and 3 and 4 respectively for chaperones. Next, you will need to enter the demographics for your group. Click on the down arrow to modify and submit your group's demographics. Finally, you can submit your participants' lists to Experiences Canada.
An important part of your exchange plans is, of course, your budget. Please take these items into consideration when you are planning your exchange. Many airlines in North America now require a luggage fee for any checked luggage. You should anticipate a cost of $50 plus tax per participant, or $25 plus tax for each the departure and return trips. The payment can be made at the airport upon check-in or sometimes earlier through our travel agent Uniglobe. Groups who are flying from a local airport located less than 100 kilometers from their home community are required to arrange for their own bus transfers and for their twins while visiting. These transfers will be reimbursed by Experiences Canada. Generally, groups will hire school buses for these short transfers. Invoices or quotes for these bus reservations must be submitted to Experiences Canada no later than February 15th in order to qualify for reimbursement. If parents will pick up youth at the airport, please confirm this with your program coordinator. Groups located further than 100 kilometers from their local airport will have their airport bus transfers reserved by our travel agency, Uniglobe Premier Travel Group. Please also keep in contact with the travel agent assigned to your file to ensure you have the correct amount for travel costs of unsubsidized participants. It is possible that a fee is required in order to complete the criminal records checks with vulnerable sector screening. This is something that the adults requesting checks should keep in mind as well. While Experiences Canada is happy to provide funding for travel costs, any costs associated with activities during the week of the exchange, including entrance fees, food, supplies, and travel to and from activities, are paid for by the group. The hosting arrangements for the group may also require attention in your budget. If your group is planning a common stay, where all participants will be accommodated in a common space, or if the chaperones will be hosted through other means than the usual host family arrangement, please be sure to account for these additional costs as well. Experiences Canada is pleased to offer financial assistance to promote participation by youth with disabilities or other special needs, youth from low-income households, participants from rural or isolated areas, visible minority youth, Aboriginal youth, and/or groups requiring additional chaperones. If you have any youth in your group who would benefit from additional funding, please provide details to your Experiences Canada Program Coordinator by completing your application for additional funding. This is Form 15 on your Group Organizer portal. Your application must include a budget overview and must be received no later than February 15th. Your general budget overview should clearly indicate details on your revenue, expenses, and cost per participant. Please note, additional funding is intended to complement your fundraising efforts and should not be the determining factor of the success of your exchange. Hosting arrangements and forms. We are happy to provide a safe and secure screening process for host families. You have access online to our host family guide to share with families and to our screening policy and procedures for group organizer youth. You can also refer to the Experiences Canada website for how-to videos, which give more details on certain parts of the exchange planning. For the success of your exchange, the following forms are mandatory to be submitted to Experiences Canada 6 weeks after receiving your confirmation email. Your flights and buses will be booked and finalized once all the hosting documents from both groups are received. The host family application must be completed by each family who wishes to host a twin. This is Form 7, which is available on your group organizer and parents' portals. If there are two families who may be hosting the same twin, for example in cases where a youth's parents are living at separate addresses, each household must submit the required hosting forms. The form must include the participant's first and last name as they are registered, so we can ensure that the appropriate forms for each youth have been received. As the group organizer, you will cross-reference the ages of the family members to ensure that you have received a clear police records check with no offenses for each adult 18 years of age and older living in the home during the exchange week. The parent or guardian must include their name and signature on the host application, Form 7, and the group organizer or someone on your exchange planning team must either accept or decline the application, confirming the decision with their signature. The application may be tentatively accepted pending the receipt of the clear police records check for the adults in the home. Each host application must be accompanied by 2 references, Form 8, which is available on your group organizers and parents' portals. Each reference must have known the family for at least 1 year and have seen them within the past 6 months. A reference cannot be related to the family. The family requesting a reference must fill out the information about their family and youth participant as a first step. This is to ensure that the references are matched to the correct host applications. The reference form is not complete without the signature of the reference as well as the signature of the group organizer or someone from your exchange planning team. If it is not possible to submit 2 reference forms for one family, the group organizer must alternatively complete a home visit. This is Form 9. This form is not mandatory unless no references have been submitted. If you would like to complete the additional screening after receiving reference forms, you may choose to use this form on an optional basis. Each adult in the host family who is 18 years of age and older and residing in the home during the exchange week must submit a clear police criminal records check with vulnerable sector screening. Acceptable checks must have been completed at least 5 years prior to the week of hosting. Mandatory police checks. As the group organizer, it is your responsibility to become familiar with the process in your community, as the process does vary across the country. Please be sure to inform parents, guardians, and adult volunteers on how to complete their check, letting them know that there may be a possible fee due to express charges, fingerprinting if required, and general processing fees. In order to be eligible to host a twin youth, each adult must provide a clear record, with no offense flagged during the process. This process also applies to the group organizer and chaperones. If a family is not eligible to host, the youth may still participate. However, their twin must be hosted with another family. Alternatively, if one of the adults in the home has an offense on their police check, that adult could stay with another family member or friend outside of the home during the host week. This decision is at the discretion of the group organizer. Please speak with your Experiences Canada representative about an offense that was officially pardoned by the police, should you have any questions on this topic. Experiences Canada does provide a letter that, in some cases, may prompt the police detachment processing the checks to waive their processing fee, if applicable. This is not guaranteed as the process is different in each community. When using this letter, please ensure that the name of the adult requesting the check is listed, as well as the name of the school or organization. The dates of the hosting period must also be listed.
Waivers and consent. If the electronic waiver and consent forms for the youth and chaperone participants have not been completed online by parents or guardian, you will also need to submit a hard copy, fax, or scanned and emailed file for each participant registered by you and who has a check mark written next to their name on your participants list. These PDF format waivers and consent forms are available on your group organizer portal, Forms 3 and 4 for chaperones, or Forms 5 and 6 for youth. Your Experiences Canada program coordinator must receive your documents on or before the deadline, 6 weeks after you have received your confirmation of twinning. Failure to meet this deadline may jeopardize your exchange. When mailing original forms, please keep copies for your own records. It is also beneficial to send the forms either by fax or email, sorted by participant's name.
If your group is unable to accommodate the twin group with host families, please contact your Experiences Canada program coordinator.
We truly welcome and encourage youth involvement during the entire exchange project, and here's a chance for youth to get involved and to react. Please assign one youth from your group as the Exchange Youth Ambassador and confirm his or her name and email address to your Experiences Canada program coordinator. The ambassador will then be invited to send his or her brief bio and a photo, and if applicable, the social media account he or she is planning to use during the exchange. The role of the ambassador is to share photos and videos and views with Experiences Canada throughout your exchange. Comments, testimonials, photos, and videos can easily be shared with us in many different ways. Remember to always identify yourself using hashtag Exchanges 2018 or hashtag Experiences Canada, and make sure to tag us in all your messages on social media. Your help is greatly appreciated as it allows us to improve our programming for upcoming years.
Twinning Youth. This is an exciting time in the exchange planning process, and we encourage you to keep open communication with the parents and youth of your group as they learn about their twin families. In your group organizer and parents portals, you will see a list of 4 documents, Forms 16 to 19, which can help you and your twin group organizer twin the youth in your groups. The medical information form is a useful resource to have on hand during your exchange for each of your students. Parents and guardians must disclose all medical information to the group organizers so that the appropriate accommodations can be made. Additionally, the parent and youth agreements will help your group understand the appropriate actions to take during the exchange. Finally, the participant profile will help you match youth in your group by interests and hobbies. These documents are to be kept on record by the group organizer and are not sent to Experiences Canada. Travel arrangements. Experiences Canada will authorize a reservation of flights and buses for your preferred travel dates once we have received your non-refundable registration fees and your request for travel dates early in the exchange process. Our travel agency will send you and your twin your tentative and finalized itineraries. Once all documents for the exchange are submitted, we will authorize the tickets to be purchased and travel bookings to be final. Please be aware that any changes or cancellations may result in additional charges to the group. To ensure a safe and positive experience, all participants must travel with the group at all times during the exchange. We have a strict no travel alterations policy. Please be sure to share this information with participants and their parents or guardians while recruiting members for your group to ensure they are aware of the commitment they are making to the exchange. Insurance and risk management. Each exchange group is provided with a group accidental insurance coverage. This covers costs such as a difference in what provincial or territorial health insurance covers while you are in another region in Canada. It does not cover pre-existing medical conditions, lost or stolen luggage, or travel cancellation by the participant. If you or the parents and guardians of your group are interested in purchasing additional insurance coverage, you can contact your Uniglobe travel agent upon reservation of your travel arrangements. A copy of our group insurance policy will be sent to you prior to your group's departure for the exchange. Exchange monitoring. Youth are excited to participate in a reciprocal exchange and to share their local region with their twins. It is therefore essential that both groups share all activities together in both communities. This creates an excellent learning opportunity for youth to gain knowledge about their own region and other parts of Canada. 1 month prior to your group's hosting period, you are required to send your hosting activities plan, Form 10. Your activities must include at least 30% of Canadian heritage and history content. Additionally, if you will be in the Ottawa region at any time during your exchange, we would love to meet with you and your twin group during one of the activities. Finally, after the end of your second half of your exchange, each group is responsible for returning the mandatory post-exchange questionnaires. These surveys are mandatory and a part of our overall program evaluation with our funders. The surveys and instructions on their completion will be mailed to you 2 weeks before the end of the exchange. These questionnaires are only available as hard copies and cannot be downloaded. While working on your hosting activities, don't forget to give your twin group organizer a call. Please ensure that both groups have taken into consideration risk management for higher risk activities, ensuring that the appropriate insurance and safety measures are in place. You can also talk to your twin about what your youth should pack for their trip to the twin community. And encourage families, parents, guardians, and youth to communicate and connect with their twins. Your exchange kit. Each group participating in the Experiences Canada exchanges will receive a kit of swags and promotional goods for the group members. The contents vary, but have included bags, sunglasses, and luggage tags in the past. We will also send you a group mascot, Tuck2 the caribou. You can send pictures and tweets to Tuck2 throughout the exchange to share your experience with us. Your program coordinator will let you know how to order these at no additional cost to registered participants. Remember to send your registration fees and preferred travel dates due 2 weeks after you have received your confirmation of twinning email. All remaining mandatory documents to be sent to Experiences Canada are due 6 weeks after the confirmation email. Please contact your program coordinator immediately if you are unable to comply with these deadlines, as failure to complete the documents on time may jeopardize the exchange. You and your twin group will have the same deadlines, as travel arrangements cannot be finalized without all documents completed from both groups. Thank you again for taking the time to participate in this exchange process tutorial. We are looking forward to working with you to facilitate a safe and successful exchange. Now that you've completed the tutorial, please send us your Form 20 Certificate of Completion within 2 weeks of receiving your confirmation of twinning email. If you have any questions about the content in this tutorial, please contact your Experiences Canada program coordinator. Your coordinator is also available to facilitate a conference call with you and your twin should you feel the need for more clarifications or have specific questions related to your exchange.